welcome back to 1000 Lies. In the last episode, we finished up the basketball game, found out that Lucy and Ziva know each other, so we're just going to go ahead and pick up right where we left off. But before we do, don't forget to subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on future episodes of this and other awesome content here in the future. And let's jump right in. I guess that explains everything, but it's hard to believe, you know. It's not that I don't trust you, Ziva, but I can't say the same about, McDonald Duck or whoever you are. How many copyrights did you just violate by calling me that? I told you last time I was using a fake name. My real name is Saran Indian. I have really no idea how to say that, and I apologize if I'm butchering it. Whatever, I'm Lucy Aura, by the way, but it seems like you already knew that. One of my teammates told me your name during the game, that's all. I didn't know your last name. It sounds lovely. That still doesn't explain why you disappeared yesterday. Well, you can discuss that amongst yourselves. I've done my part. Don't worry about the committee for today. We'll just have to reschedule it for another day. We're missing some of the other members anyway. I'll go look for Aussie and make sure he's still alive. You guys can keep chatting. Good luck. Yeah, fine. Run. I'll get you later. Suddenly it's just Lucy and I left alone together in a really awkward situation. It's normal for people who've only just met to have nothing to talk about, but this is just abnormal. I don't know what else to say. Lucy doesn't seem to have any connection to those weird emails at all, and I'm not even sure if I want to find out the truth behind them anymore anyway. I guess I should probably tidy up the mess I made earlier. Is that okay with you? Do as you wish. Lucy gives me a totally dry answer as a way of showing her dissatisfaction with me. However, once I begin cleaning up my mess, she joins in to help. I told you I wanted to speak with you, didn't I? Why did you leave? I mean, you mean during the basketball match, right? I didn't want to play anymore, and I didn't know if you'd come back or not. It didn't make any sense to stay. I could have at least come to the infirmary before leaving. It wasn't that bad in the end, right? I didn't think it was necessary. Nah, I just broke a rib and had to sit out for the rest of the match. It was no big deal. What? A broken rib? And you say that's no big deal? No shit, that's what I was thinking. And just what I told the coach, so I could take a few weeks off from playing. In reality, I'm fine. Nothing happened, so no broken rib. Lucy taps her chest, prideful of her fortitude, even though she just admitted that she'd lied to her whole team about being seriously injured. I'm more worried about how you forgot about our bet. Bet? Ah, that bet. You stalked me, broke into my apartment, harassed me during our match, and then assaulted me and ran away on our bet. Do you think I'm happy about that? Okay, you did win the bet, but I think Ziva already explained everything, didn't she? It was all a big misunderstanding. Lucy smirks for a few seconds before deciding how to respond to my statement. We also talked about how to prove to me that I could trust you, you need to fulfill some requirements. What Ziva told me was really nice and all, but what if she's covering for you? I can't take your word at face value. I need more than that to believe you. So, you plan on taking advantage of the situation since you won that bet? Ha ha ha, not exactly. I'm genuinely curious, you know? I think I would be more than curious. Like, I'd be fucking calling the cops and be like, this weirdo needs some medicine because he's psychotic. But, you know, whatever. I don't judge. Not to mention all the problems you've caused me. What are you going to do about those, eh? You could sue I could sue if I really wanted to. Let's not get carried away. No need to involve the law. Why not? Do you think I'm bluffing? Alright. If it's compensation you want, then I've got something. What if I show you a place where you can draw in peace? What? Drawing. You like drawing, don't you? I saw you doing it the other day. Evidently you don't have a better place to do it, so how about I tell you a place that'd be perfect? Where'd you get that idea? The other day was honestly a one-time thing. For some reason, Lucy tries to deny something that's obvious. Maybe she's self-conscious about it. It's weird. At first she acted like she didn't know me, and now she's refusing to admit that she likes to draw. She's contradictory. That's women for you. The scraps of paper I saw in the garbage on the day you were drawing in the playground had more than doodles on them. It was like they were part of a story or a comic. One draws outside to capture landscape, not to create comics. At least no one with as many scraps as you had left behind. In your room, I couldn't find any of your art supplies, even though it took you less than a minute to get in and out of your apartment. You were definitely in a rush, too, since you left your bedroom light on. But you were still careful enough to hide your art supplies for some reason. You returned home shortly after, so whatever you went to do, you didn't want anyone else to know. You were so cautious to hide it all, even though you weren't gone for more than 5 minutes. I don't know why you're hiding your artistic hobby from your family. I think you're pretty good at it, but being embarrassed about it doesn't seem to make sense. In any case, any abandoned playground isn't really the most comfortable or safest of places, not if you want to draw properly. Lucy doesn't respond. Stunned, she doesn't know how to react. Yeah, because that's some fucking creepy shit. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything about it. I'm trying to clear my name, but it seems like I might have been a bit too thorough in my analyzation. Is that even a word? Okay, let's say that I'm interested. I can't go and follow you around after what happened. I've already told you that I need to trust you first. How about we take care of that first and then we'll see? I shrug. I don't know what she's thinking, but it can't be worse than what's already happened. As you wish. What should I do now? Do you promise that you won't back out this time? I promise. Really? No matter what? Look, not everyone does, but I always fulfill my bets and promises. Good, good. Then come with me, if you dare. So mysterious. There's nobody around. With my hands stuffed in my pockets and my eyes darting around, I casually lean on the door to the teacher's lounge. After I confirm that no one else is around, I quietly turn the doorknob. Oh, it's locked. Unexpectedly, the door to the lounge is locked. On the bright side, it also means that nobody's inside, which only makes things easier in the end. Let's see what we have here. I shake the knob a little and decide on the best course of action. I open my wallet and take out my ID. Swiftly push it through the door crack, which easily unlocks the door. I've never gotten that trick to work. Like, I've locked myself out of my house and stuff so many times, and I've never gotten that card trick to work. Maybe I just don't know how it works. Once I'm inside, I look in one of the cabinet drawers, like Lucy hadn't instructed me, and I find a set of keys. I grab them and get out. Wow, that was fast. I was scared there for a second when the door was locked. How'd you manage to open it? It's easy as long as you have a credit card or a plastic ID on hand. You'd be surprised by the amount of doors you can open that way easily if they're old. Maybe that's why. I always carry a lockpick with me in case that doesn't work, or I also could have used a bump key. The art of lockpicking is so very beautiful. It always creeps me out when, like, random people that are supposed to be just normal, everyday people know how to pick locks. Like, why would you need that skill? That explains how you got into my house. Who knows where you learned that? I've already told you that the door was already open and I didn't pick the lock. Of course, schmuck. Of course. You aren't in any position to talk after what you asked me to do. How did you know that the keys were in there, and what do you plan to do with them? To serve justice. Who's she serving justice on? Me? Lucy leads me outside. She brings me out near the entrance and into the parking lot. It's empty aside from a couple of parked cars. Look, I used to park my bike right here on the bike track, on the bike racks. At the beginning of the school year, one of the teachers decided to purchase a new car. Not a regular car, but a big one. Really big. It turns out that his parking space was in front of the bike racks, making it harder to get the bikes in and out. Now, let's talk how this teacher didn't give a damn, and every time he parked, he always hit the bike racks one way or another. So, I've been forced to give up my wheels and start walking instead, but I don't want to the end of the year by letting him get away with it. That sentence didn't make any sense. I presume diplomacy hasn't worked very well. Why don't you chain your bike up somewhere else? Where? This place is busy during the mornings and you never know where you'll be able to park. Plus, I've already made up my mind. Here or nowhere. She presses one of the buttons on the key and the headlights of the large vehicle blink on. I almost mistook it for a monster truck, making Lucy's complaint more understandable. What are you going to do now? You don't need the keys to scratch the body of it. Sit down. I want to show you something. Lucy invites me to sit shotgun. What's she planning, I wonder? I'll be the first person to admit that I love pranks, but I can't imagine this girl being that kind of person. I'm pretty curious about it, so I decide to go along with whatever she wants to do. I take my seat, and she goes around to the other side and sits in the driver's seat. Can you tell me what we're going to do with this car? You haven't figured it out yet? We're stealing it. Oh, shit. What? Ah! In the time it took to blink, we sped out of the school's parking lot and onto the street. I've always considered myself a prankster, but this is too much. Too much, I mean. We're stealing a damn car. What are you doing? I told you I want to test whether or not I can trust you. There's only one way to do it properly. You can't trust someone you don't consider a close friend. And I don't believe that two people can be friends until they've shared a secret. What do you think? You'll be my accomplice. There's no better secret than that. You could have told me before starting the car. Ha ha ha. I wanted to see how much it'd take before you asked. In the end, it's true that you always fulfill your promises. Or you're just stupid. Okay, whatever you say, but slow down. You're going the wrong way in a roundabout. I'm trying to, but it's hard. I know which one is the gas pedal, but I can't distinguish between the normal and the super brake. Does she mean the clutch? What the hell is a super brake? I don't know. There are 3 pedals, the gas, the brake, and another. Which could only be the super brake? The clutch. That's the clutch. Dutch? Why would they be here? Oh my god, I can't talk. Clutch. You don't know what that is? How did you manage to start the car in the first place? Women's intuition or something like that? I don't know. Lucy makes such a sharp turn that if the streets were busy, everyone in our path would have been slaughtered. After skidding, a car flies into the air with the finesse of a rat, likely also breaking the suspension and lands in an empty vacant lot. We just fucked up that teacher's car. The truth is that we aren't really going to steal it, more like borrow it. I don't have a license, so I don't need the car or anything. You don't say. I never would have imagined that after seeing how well you drive on 2 wheels. Ha ha ha, don't be like that. We're only serving justice. I don't have it yet, but in a couple months I'll be 18 and I plan on getting it then. So do you have to be 18 to get your license in whatever country they're in? Have you heard about future investments? Same thing here. Yeah, not really worth it. Ha ha ha, too late. You're already involved. It rained yesterday. That's why the vacant lot is so muddy. The plan is to circle around a couple times and leave the car covered in it. I can think of 1,000 easier ways to dirty a car, but if that's what justice intends, none of those are fun. Haha. I'm close to making the interior of the car as dirty as the outside purely from motion sickness. The driver's obnoxious laughter isn't helping either. A few minutes, although it felt more like months of torture later, and Lucy is bored of circling, and the car is now a complete, unrecognizable, dirty state. At least now it seems Lucy has gotten the hang of driving, but it's a pity that our luck runs out as soon as we return to the main street. Oh my god, are they going to get pulled over? Hey, Lucy says with a complete casual tone. Yeah? What's that behind us? I take a look and answer her in a relaxed tone. The cops. Silence consumes the car. Lucy tries to break it, but it's completely unsuccessful. What is he doing with his hand? Signaling you to stop? I see. I think now's a good time for us to switch seats. Ah, that bitch! She's trying to set me up. Stop the car. With the normal or the super brake. Some people say looks can kill, but not mine. My facial expression is more like an ode to the apocalypse. My gaze focuses on the rearview mirror as my stomach enacts a coup d'etat. Out of the police vehicle emerges a figure. Whatever happened to the fat police officers with greasy donut-laden hands? It's not like I have anything against 6'6", tall bodies that are large as bodybuilders, but it's not good for my mental health or heart to face the final boss during the first level. For a second, I'm sure if he wants to lean in through the window or rip the sunroof off with his bare hands. Are you aware that having a car this dirty makes it impossible to see your blinkers and license plate? Hey, where's the driver? Between how poorly I act under pressure and having to improvise and my stomach reenacting the French Revolution, I missed an important detail. That bitch slipped out to leave me with the blame. Lucy is gone. I think I can hear the car starting to break down under the fingers of the mean-looking officer. I may have been joking around the sunroof before, but it started becoming more plausible. I can hear the guillotine going off in a Palais de la Concorde when to my ear comes a soft whisper. Repeat what I say if you want to get out of this alive. What? I guess that the sound is coming from behind me, but that is safe to assume. Lucy is lying down in the space between the front and the back seat. With a car as big as this, there should be plenty enough space for her. Don't play dumb with me. Where's the driver? I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. I watched more than enough Japanese cartoons to know that the aura given off by this officer is not good. It's probably because he's bald and I can't tell what his power level is, and it's likely quite high. Oh, Lord. I left that seat free on purpose because I've been looking for you all night. So we're going to flirt with the male officer as a man. This is probably not going to turn out very well. Probably only because I don't have a better idea, but without overthinking it, I start repeating Lucy's words. I left that seat free on purpose. I've been looking for you all night. The officer raises an eyebrow. You know why the car's like this? I went to the countryside to look at the stars all night. The car ended up like this because I went to the countryside to look at the stars all night, and now look, it's bright as day. I can't believe I'm doing this. The revolution may have ended, but now I have Napoleon Bonaparte expanding its territory beyond my abdomen, and I can't hold him back any longer. I put in so much effort, and I finally found Uranus. Found Uranus. No, I meant, my mind is so blank that I notice small vibrations coming from behind my seat. Lucy can barely contain her laughter. My vision clouds. The bulky guy looking into the car window seems to grow taller than before, and his eyes turn blood red. I, who have always lived free of any sins, lies. So this is the conspiracy that the corrupt government and law enforcement came up with to get rid of me for good. Still lying. I always knew they considered me a threat, lies, but for it to come to this, I would rather spend the day at home playing video games, lies. No, wait, this is true. I hope humanity remembers me as the hero for what I've dedicated my entire life and efforts to. The protection of the Vietnamese Sola and its rights. So, we're Vietnamese? He doesn't even know what it is. Although, there may still be a way, a really cliche solution, the oldest trick in the book. It's not like it can get any worse now, right? Joking. I'm joking. This is a hidden camera prank. See? I raise my hand in the nearest sun visor and flip it down as if I'm trying to indicate that there's a hammer hidden behind it. Of course, there's nothing actually there, but thanks to my experience as a magician, it's actually pretty easy for me to make others believe otherwise. It's all about how well you can act and lie, and it's all in the wrist. The beast frowns suspiciously and then also seems to calm down a bit. It's going to air on one of the popular comedy websites. It looks like there's no driver, but I can drive it from here. Cool, right? Hopefully he doesn't ask me to, verify that. Please like, share, and subscribe so I can live off the views until the YouTube cash cow dies. I have to go back to living in my mother's basement. Thank you very much. Here's my driver's license, you see? I take out my wallet, trying to control my sudden Parkinson's fit, and bend over the driver's seat as I hand my driver's license to the officer. It may just be an adrenaline thing, but to me it looks like he's going to burn my license under the pressure of his fingertips. He sighs, something I personally envy considering I don't have any oxygen left in my lungs until he gives me back my ID. Alright, but don't do anything like this again, okay? The officer nods his head and leaves. I bid him farewell in shock. When he's far enough away, I let off the biggest sigh I've ever sighed in my entire life. Everything okay in the end? Who would have thought? Lucy reappears from the back and takes my driver's license out of my lifeless hands. I don't say anything when I come back to my senses. I cover my face and try to compute everything that just transpired, although my reaction isn't what anyone would expect. Ha 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 ha. I can't believe that guy fell for my amateur lie. Oh my god. Lucy and I start laughing our asses off together. It had been a pretty dangerous situation, but we couldn't stop laughing. I thought you were angry for a second, you know? Oh, I am. Don't be mistaken. But being able to get out of that with such a bad lie is so ridiculous. What I don't understand is why you're laughing. What's wrong with you? Do you realize that we've just stolen a car? Well, there's one small detail I might have left out. The story I told you about the teacher is real, but the teacher's actually my dad. You're stealing your dad's car? Are you crazy? My dad would beat my ass. We have a special relationship. We pull pranks on each other all the time. I might have outdone myself this time, but he'll probably find it hilarious. A little weird, eh? Some things are so easy to say, but the most simple ones can be the most difficult. She lowers her voice for a second, and in reaction, I turn to look at her. She avoids my gaze and returns to her previous demeanor. To tell you the truth, I wanted to do something unexpected and see how far you'd go. Ziva has actually told me about you before, you know, the weird guy that writes in his notebook and always gets in trouble. I see she wasn't lying about the latter, at least. Looks like we have something in common. What do you think? This is what's meant by justice. You break into other people's houses and stalk them. I steal cars. You don't have any more reasons to be wishy-washy around me like before, right? Lucy smiles. She is a lot more relaxed now, and according to her, we're on the same level. The philosophy of committing a crime to understand criminals better seems stupid to me, foolish even, but she seems convinced. What I didn't plan on was you having this driver's license. Lucy, I didn't know that either. Lucy waves the piece of plastic between her fingers, looking at it while trying to change the subject. Oh my, it seems that your birthday's next week. Happy early birthday. Is she hitting on me? Stop snooping and give it back to me before you lose it. What I don't understand is why it says you're 19. Aren't you in the same class as Ziva? Snoop. I repeated a grade a while ago. Nothing special. Wow, are you serious? You must be kind of stupid after all. What a bitch. I appreciate the deep analysis, but shouldn't we bring this car back already? Your father must have realized it's missing by now, especially considering how large and hard it is to miss. Don't worry, at this hour, he's probably fooling around somewhere. He's a good man, but still irresponsible. Is that something you know for sure, or is it another gut feeling? A bit of both. Mental note, this girl is dangerous. Oh well, at least the Battle of Waterloo is over. What do you mean? Without incident, since I'm now behind the wheel, we managed to safely return to the vehicle to its parking spot. I carefully placed the keys back in the drawer I had originally found them in, imagining the face of that unfortunate man paying the price of his daughter's justice. When I get back to the school gates and meet up with Lucy again, she's facing away from me, distracted by something. That was really fast. It's not like I went that far. It's never far enough when it comes to you, Juan. Don't give me nicknames when you feel like it. I told you my name is Saran. Now what? We're even, right? I wanted proof that you can trust me, and now you even have something that you can blackmail me with, so don't keep complaining. Really? To be honest, I'm not really convinced yet. I'm still going to need something more to trust you. This bitch. That's your problem now. I've already done my part. But that's not true, Johan. It wasn't Johan, it was John. And my name is Saran. Saran. John was a pseudonym that I came up with to escape. But I clearly said you had to fulfill some requirements. Requirements, that's plural, don't you see? This was only the first requirement. The second is for you to show me that secret place you mentioned earlier. The third, fourth, and sixth, well, we'll see. If a genie gave you 3 wishes, normally you'd want to ask for more. Am I right? I raise a finger questioningly, trying to figure out how to react to such nonsense, but she's right. For some reason, I was thinking that her intentions were pure, and then I ended up getting myself into this mess. Cat, got your tongue? If you have nothing left to say, then let's get going. Normally in these types of situations, I'd react by sending her straight to hell and angrily punching the closest wall I could find, or vice versa. It was really stupid of me to do all this, but as I've already said, I always fulfill my promises and bets, and I'm not going to back down on my word now. I can't live with a clear conscience if I know that I have unfulfilled promises left. It doesn't matter if that promise is totally unfair and it deceived me with its tricky wording, meaning to take advantage of me. Okay, you did say requirements, so let's settle on a limit now. Alright, a limit. Considering I've already spent 2, it would be unfair to leave it like that. Even though I didn't know there was a limit. How about a limit of 5? 5? Good lord. 3 requirements? Are you crazy? You mentioned a genie bit a little bit ago. Then 3. We have plenty of favors. How about we meet in the middle and leave it at 4? Okay, 4. Who cares? Great, but because we've accepted 2 or 3, 2. In fact, I'm surprised that we even negotiated it. Any sane person would have assumed that I was joking. I wasn't being serious at first. I just wanted to tease you with the requirements. But if you're so generously offering, then I'm not going to refuse. I suddenly realized how much of a fool I've been with this girl. I fell for all of her tricks. A free fall without a parachute. And unclear destiny. I lose my composure and my usual smug behavior is torn away from me. I've been defeated by my equal. I can't decide if this girl hates me or likes me. Like, I'm really unsure. Our conversation doesn't make any sense. The stuff about requirements doesn't make any sense, and my patience ends. I don't get angry, but instead vulnerable. I'm not the kind of person who gets caught up in my anger. I'm mostly cool-headed in every situation, but then there's a crisis. My will bleeds, and I end up agreeing to anything that comes my way until I eventually find the best moment to escape. Now would be a good moment to make a run for it. Nevertheless, it's true that I'm a man of my word, not a liar. For better or worse, I have to keep going until I fulfill that for which I'm responsible. I've already told you that I fulfill all of my promises. Even if it's a trap, I'd still honor it. And, well, whatever happens, happens. In the end, maybe you're sincere after all. I thought you were different. Not that this is bad either. Lucy flashes a cunning smile, a mixture of dark and pernicious joy, and I somehow find appealing. Well then, General Sir, you still have a special place to show me. How about we hit the road? And on that note, I think we're going to go ahead and end this episode here. That was definitely interesting. Didn't expect that we were going to steal a car. It makes it slightly less scary that it was her dad's car, but it is what it is. I think I'm going to have to look and see how much playtime I have in this and see about how many more episodes we have left, but I think we have quite a few. So stay tuned. We will definitely get to the end of this. I want to see where this story goes. It does seem to drag a little bit in certain parts, but it's interesting. It's keeping me interested. So we'll definitely keep going from here. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.